All right, good afternoon, everybody. It's the Fantasy Sports Boss, Fantasy Football Friday. Thank you for joining us. It's Friday, October 6, 2023, coming off a Chicago Bears steamrolling of the Washington Commanders last night. And how bad are the Commanders? I mean, just the fact that they allowed Justin Fields to throw 4 touchdown passes on them and allowed DJ Moore to just do whatever the hell he wanted during the course of the game. When you have a head coach who is a former defensive coordinator, just completely inexcusable. But hit that subscribe button and the like button if you're new to the channel. Going to go through the final injury report of the week. We have concerns about Amon-Ra St. Brown. That bears watching. Also, Saquon Barkley, who's a game time decision. So we're going to get to all of that and everything else. Of course, you know, I guess the best place to start, and I'm only going to be on for about 45 minutes tonight, guys, because I do have a game tonight. I got my uniform on. So I'm going to have to take off for that at some point. But I will have a video up tomorrow with my picks, my week 5 NFL picks. So make sure you look for that. Now, Amon-Ra, as far as Amon-Ra St. Brown, so that's one of the more pressing concerns. So I do think he does play. Amon-Ra has had a history of gutting out injuries. And, you know, he has done work on the side, you know, so he's missed practice the entire week. But he has done stuff on the side. So that at least lends me to believe that he's going to give it a go. Could there be an early exit? It's possible, but you roll with Amon-Ra St. Brown if he's playing. That's just what you do, right? Hey, Ray Gamer, you just go with Amon-Ra St. Brown no matter what. Now, as far as Barkley is concerned, same thing. If he plays, you put him out there. Giants are not going to put him out there and just have him on a snap count. If Saquon Barkley is going to be back out there, then he's going to be playing for the duration of the game. So I don't think there's any question about that. Now, also, the other big news of the day, Cooper Kupp is back. He's going to be playing for the Rams, joining Puka Nacua in what looks like, you know, suddenly one of the best wide receiver combinations in football. You have Kyren Williams lighting things up at running back, Matthew Stafford with a comeback season. This Rams team is really impressive offensively, pass-catching tight end and Tyler Higbee. And Tyler Higbee, by the way, has a really good matchup against the Eagles defense that historically, you know, for the last 5 years or so, just can't stop tight ends. So Tyler Higbee, in what's going to amount to a high-scoring, high-passing game for both sides, I think Tyler Higbee is somebody that you should be playing if you're tight end needy. Sit Barkley and start Gus Edwards. No, I wouldn't do that. If he's playing, Fran, you have to start him. You don't bother with Gus Edwards. Dobbs for Jerome Ford, full PPR. The Dobbs side wins. Yeah, I'm not a Jerome Ford truther. You know, they have Kareem Hunt there, who's, you know, taking quite a bit more work than we anticipated once Nick Chubb went down. You know, the assumption was that Jerome Ford was going to be the guy. Well, at that, it doesn't look like that's going to be the case. Hey, Grind Don't Stop. How are you? Dell Pitts. Pitts shouldn't even be on a team. Khalil Herbert for Waller, Pickens, Jay Warren. The Dell Pitts side wins despite Pitts being in that deal. Just traded away Waddle last night, so my starting lineup for the most weeks is Jalen Hurts, Olave, Waddle, Barkley, Montgomery, Hockenson. It looks good to me, Ray. I mean, it seems like it's okay. I mean, you're a Chubb owner, yeah. So I mean, you had to. I think you're covered with Montgomery and Barkley, so I don't think it's. I think you're sitting pretty good there right now. Now, as far as getting to Cooper Kupp, and I'm sorry, I'm still a little congested. The last phase of the flu that I've been battling all week, so I apologize for that. Actually, blow my nose real quick, so I know you guys don't want to see that on camera there. Sorry for that sound effect there, but getting to the Cooper Kupp situation, I think he's going to be. Is he going to be on a snap count? It's possible. I don't think so. I don't think the Rams are going to put him out there and just have him on a snap count right out of the gate. So Kupp should be really good. I think right away. You know he's got a really good rapport going with Matthew Stafford. Puka Nacua obviously has been a blockbuster player from the very beginning, no doubt about it. One of the greatest instant impact players I've ever seen in the NFL. Regardless of the position, too. It's going to trickle down, though, in the fact that Puka Nacua, obviously, he's not going to get that kind of workload. You know, he's going to be probably more a low-end wide receiver 1, high-end 2. So I compare this situation with, like, the Miami Dolphins. So Puka Nacua will be Jalen Waddle, Cooper Kupp will be Tyreek Hill, or the Bengals, right? Puka Nacua will be T. Higgins, and Cooper Kupp is going to be Jamar Chase. I'm not talking about athletic profile. I mean just the standing in the target hierarchy and the amount of targets they're going to get and all that stuff. So that's how I'm looking at that situation. But I do think Kupp right away is going to be, maybe not a wide receiver one this week, but as soon as next week, I think he's going to be fine. Yeah, as far as Jaleel McLaughlin, look, Javonte Adams has done limited work this week. I think he's going to play, so that's really going to put a cap on Jaleel McLaughlin. I mean, listen, Youngstown State, I believe he's the all-time leading rusher. Yeah, Ray just put that down there. He's got blazing speed, and the Broncos have had a history of finding these guys, these undrafted free agents. So I think that certainly he was worth a pickup earlier this week, but I'm not putting him out there, especially if Javonte Adams is playing. And I do think Javonte Adams is going to play. I like Metcalf a lot more than Debo, Ray, 100%. Hey, Ralph, how are you? But getting back to Cooper Kupp, you're playing him, you're playing Puka Nacua, no doubt about it. But the targets will be coming down just slightly for Puka Nacua. All right, so as far as the rest of the injury report is concerned, so T. Higgins, guys, limited today with the ribs injury. He's got the broken ribs. He's questionable to play Sunday against the Cardinals. Listen, if he can go out there, I think the Bengals are going to put him out there. Like, this is a must-win game, and they're going against a Cardinals team that has been much more competitive than anybody could imagine. The assumption all along was they were just going to completely crash and burn for Caleb Williams, right? That hasn't happened. Josh Dobbs, out of the blue, suddenly learned how to play NFL football. You have Marquise Brown, James Conner, really good veteran players. Zach Ertz, same thing. Like, this team has been very competitive. You saw what they did to Dallas, which is one of the most impressive victories of any team this season. And can they beat the Bengals? Absolutely. They could beat the Bengals this week. And, as far as T. Higgins, it's a pain tolerance issue. They'll obviously put more padding in his jersey. Joe Burrow, the problem with Joe Burrow with that calf injury, he's not able to push off and get the ball down the field. But you still have to play Higgins. You still have to obviously play Jamar Chase. Joe Burrow, on the other hand, in a single quarterback leagues, if you have options, and this has been an Arizona defense that's playing with a lot of spunk, I would size up maybe a possible replacement until we see Burrow come around. Listen, don't let Jaleel McLaughlin prevent you from picking somebody else up. That could be more helpful. Dallas D, that's good. That's a tough matchup. New England's defense, they just lost two of their best players. I mean, Houston's D is not bad. I would actually roll with Houston's D against Atlanta. Do you believe Aaron Rodgers will be back before the season ends? No, I don't see that. Who knows what kind of psychedelic shit he's taking, but Ralph, I find that hard to believe. I don't think the Jets are even going to be in it by the time he's possibly going to return. So I don't think so. Brees or Christian Watson, Brees all the way, Brees to the moon this week. Barkley for Walker and Mixon. I would do that. I'm not the biggest Mixon guy, but I would do that because Walker has really kind of convinced me this year. I wasn't the biggest Walker guy either, but he's been really good this season. 2-2 or stream on the following: McLaughlin, Wilson, Tony, or Lazard. I don't think you could start 2-2. Maybe Lazard. You got to stop. We all have to stop at Tony. I would probably say Lazard, but I'm not really a fan of any of those guys. All right, so Javonte Williams practiced for a second straight day. So your Jaleel McLaughlin owners, I don't think we have to even concern ourselves with him this week. Addison, Judy, Jameson, or Tank. I would definitely go Addison. Last week was rough, but this is going to be a very high-scoring game. And I would go Tank because the Broncos are playing the Jets. This is a pissed-off Jets team with a shutdown corner in Sauce Gardner, so I wouldn't mess with that. Ever heard snake shot? All right, so getting real quick to that game last night, I didn't even mention Khalil Herbert. So yes, he's got a ankle sprain. I didn't see if it was high ankle. He says he's going to be okay, but this is the second week in a row now he's played really well, right? He averaged over 7 per carry yesterday. Roschon Johnson was cooking too, 3 for 19 before he went out. I'm feeling better. Thank you. I got a little congestion still, but I'm okay. I got the flu on the, I'm like in round 11 of 12 here. If this were a boxing match between me and the flu. But Khalil Herbert, yeah. So, as long as he comes through this ankle injury, okay, the Roschon Johnson owners have to continue to be patient because Herbert, he's good. I mean, whenever he gets the opportunity, we've been saying this for the last couple of years, he's produced. He's got good speed. He can catch the football. He's PPR friendly. And all of a sudden, this Bears offense is looking pretty good. Jets D all the way, Joe. The Justin Fields thing. What's interesting to me is that his running last year set up his passing. This season, it's almost like the passing is setting up the run. He's throwing a good deep ball. I mean, he was throwing it all over the place last week. DJ Moore all last night. He looks good. So, and again, the running is like a subset now of his passing, which is what you want to see. That to me is development. Like this is a really good sign. Now, two really bad defenses last couple of weeks, no doubt about it. So when he's playing a defense that has more aptitude, it'll be interesting to see if the mistakes return. But for one night, it was really, really impressive. On the other hand, man, Ron Rivera, how much did the Commanders blow it by drafting Emmanuel Forbes over Christian Gonzalez? Christian Gonzalez, to me, was the top corner in the draft outside of Devin Witherspoon. And my God, how great was he against the Giants? Christian Gonzalez is a pure shutdown corner, blazing speed. Emmanuel Forbes, to me, wasn't even a first-round guy. I thought he was early second. And they drafted Emmanuel Forbes over Gonzalez, and they just benched Forbes. Like, what a shitty decision. You could take Daniel Snyder away from this organization, and the bad decisions continue to pile up. Ron Rivera is not long for this team. I mean, it's just not working anymore. Logan Thomas, I was really impressed with him. And I think in a year where a lot of these top tight ends are kind of face planting, I think Logan Thomas should, be picked up. It's not going to be like that every week, but he was good. You like Wan'Dale for this week? Yeah, you know what? Wan'Dale Robinson for PPR works as like a low-end wide receiver 3. He can break one. He's got good speed. I'm not sure how many red zone targets he's going to get. So he's really strictly a PPR play, more of a flex than anything, in my opinion. You drop Pitts for Kincaid. There you go. How do you feel now, right? You finally cut the cord on Kyle Pitts. I'm sure you feel a lot better now. I was on the money line. Let's go. Yeah, getting your bets in, huh? Need to sit one. Ramondre Watts, JT Watson, and Brees. Ramondre Stevenson's got a really, really bad matchup. So if JT plays, I probably would go Ramondre, but just for this week. But I still think Ramondre is a good buy low. All right, so Kenny Pickett looks like he's going to play this week. Listen, the Steelers are a complete dumpster fire. There's no doubt about it. They are a complete utter dumpster fire. It's just not working. Kenny Pickett is not the answer. There were a lot of questions coming into, coming out of college. That was a bad quarterback draft class, his draft class. The smaller hands, it's just not working. He's a good athlete, but he's more of a backup quarterback, in my opinion. And we're seeing that this year. You can't play any Steelers player, including Najee Harris. And even Jaylen Warren has not been good running the football. Just a complete mess there. All right. Derek Carr listed as questionable, but he's expected to play. I mean, I just don't understand it. This is not the best news for Chris Olave. The deep passing game was affected because Carr's, shoulder issues. So, I don't know how much better that's going to be this week. Puka, a keeper for next year. Yes. Ralph, 100%. I'm not sure Cooper Kupp's going to be back with the team next year. It's entirely possible either they trade him, he's getting older, and all these injuries, there's red flags enveloping Cooper Kupp. So I think Puka absolutely is a keeper. But Matthew Stafford may not even be back either. Keaton Mitchell, potential next Devin Achane, and I don't say that lightly. Pick 2, Ridley, Wan'Dale, Tank, Jameson, Higgins, Ridley, and Tank. Christian Kirk versus Buffer, Tutu Atwell. Oof, no, Christian Kirk, 100%. Tutu Atwell doesn't have value now with Cooper Kupp back joining Puka Nacua and now Tyler Higbee. He'll be 4th on the target tree. Hey, Mark, how are you? Would you trade Puka for any of these guys? Jacobs, Hall, Pacheco, Cook, Achane? With Cooper Kupp back, maybe Jacobs, but that might be it. Jonathan Taylor, questionable with the ankle. He's expected to play, guys. So Jonathan Taylor is going to play this week. It's Zach Moss is in trouble. listen, Jonathan Taylor is really good. I mean, if we put all of that stuff, the drama with the team, trade request, contract stuff, all that, if we put that on the back burner, Jonathan Taylor is still a top, 5-6 player at running back in the NFL. There's no question about it. Like, he's as good of a runner as Nick Chubb is. And that's another thing I don't say lightly. So Jonathan Taylor, whether he gets a full allotment of snaps, probably not, right? I think maybe they top him out 10 to 12 snaps, maybe throw him a couple of passes. I think long-term, he's going to be fine as a runner. In PPR leagues, not as much because, he has a quarterback that's not going to throw to the running backs as often. He's going to siphon touchdowns as well around the goal line.